very.
Arlene Schofield.
My name is Shireen Snow.
My name is Carla A. Miles.
Diana Camuto.
This is Christine Dunford.
I'm me, Eden.
Caroline Macy. This is Walker Fannin.
I'm Camille Dixon.
I'm Sarah Dates Wardam.
My name is Linda Preston, and you're watching the Keith Andrew Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Keith Andrew, and you're watching the Keith Andrew Network. I'm here with the talented and beautiful Maya Black, and I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
You're welcome. Anytime. Thank you for having me.
No, the honor's all mine. Now, for people who want to know what my talk show is about, the whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities. But you should never give up and prove people wrong. Prove to them you can still amount to something, and prove to them that labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be. And you prove to them, let me do that one more time because I spazzed on that one.
It's okay.
The whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of disabilities to never give up and prove people wrong. Prove to them that labels don't dictate who you are and who you're going to be. So hashtag prove them wrong. Break the labels. This is why I wish I had my own studio, so I don't have people throwing me off.
Okay,
so basically, labels don't dictate who you are and who you're going to be. You should prove to them you can break the labels. With that being said, starting off, what can you tell us about yourself?
So, guys, hello. My name is Maya Black, and I'm actually a model, actor, actress, if you want to say, and overall just promoter. I do it all. So my manager likes to say I'm a jack of all trades because every day there's something new I'm saying that I do. So it's crazy. But mainly just modeling and acting is what I do. Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm originally, but, I live in Jersey right now. So that's where most of all my work. And I'm close to New York, so I'm like in and out of there. So it's pretty much it. I don't know.
So I'm gonna ask you some.
I'm a little nervous.
Trying to hide my disability too. So I'm gonna ask you some easy questions. Then I'm gonna ask you some hard hitting ones. Okay. And the first one I was gonna ask you is, have you ever been to Woodbury Commons? Number one, and how was life growing up?
So I have been to Woodbury Commons. I actually like it. I haven't been there in it's probably been a while. Because I went to school in Penn State, so they have the Tannersville outlets that are like closer on that side, so I went that way. But I actually like that place. It's pretty nice. And I guess my upbringing is a little different because I was born in Ghana and moved here when I was 8. So it's like a quarter kind of thing going. And ever since then, I've been in America, just, I guess, adjusting. No, I'm just kidding. The first couple of years was a little bit of adjustment, but afterward, it was, made the right friends and, found the right group, and it was good. So, yeah.
Hey, if you ever in the area, we should definitely get lunch or something.
Yes, indeed. I should be out there pretty soon. I think I have a fashion show that should be popping up in that area.
Oh, nice.
It's going to be a nice little drive.
Now, my next question I was going to ask you is, did you do any sports growing up? And were you athletic, or were you like a study nerd or party animal?
So, okay, this question is always great because I feel like at different points in life I had a different phase for each time. But I was very active growing up, and I did play a lot of sports. So one of the main things that I did was cheerleading, even though some people don't consider it sport. It is a sport. So I was a cheerleader for about 12 years, and then did track and field for about 4. And yeah, so between in and out of that, like I'm also active, so I can basically adapt to any other sport, like just if it's just for fun. But those are my two main things that I for sure did and loved. Every minute of it, every year that I did it for, it was amazing. So that was something that I guess you can say I'm active even to this day. Sometimes I still like to do like yoga or like little things to still muscle memory, get my body back in the flow when I get the chance to. So it's pretty good.
Now, you mentioned 2 sports I'd like to talk to you about. One, did you ever want to be a professional cheerleader? And have you ever won any trophies or gotten to like those conferences?
Yeah, so actually I guess when I first started out cheerleading, which was around fourth, I think fourth, fifth grade, I told my mom, "Oh, I want to go to college and I want to do this professionally and then maybe one day become one of those like how because when I was younger I used to go to a lot of I think we froze here. There we go. Okay, so I went to a lot of those Nets games when they were in
Right.
New Jersey. So the dancers and the cheerleaders, when they would be out on the floor, all the kids who used to go were able to sit like literally courtside, watch them warm up. So I guess I got that bug then, and then just kept doing it and really wanted to pursue it all the way like professionally. But I felt like once I got to college, it was a completely different like it was the I guess the work ethic of that, including actual schooling, was so hard. And I mean, I still commend myself because I even went all the way up to All Star and still did All Star, So in that sense, that's where you have all the really big ones where they have the trophies and this. So I mean, I'm nationally ranked, but that was about 6 years ago. So I don't know where I fall now. I'm probably just no longer in that bracket. But yes, I really won a lot of trophies group wise with cheerleading. With track, on the other hand, I didn't want to take track professionally because they work like they're basically their lives 24/7 is
Yeah.
track. Like that's it. So, but in high school, I did win a lot of like in-state competitions and things like that. Place first and like my groups and things like so. I mean, tell them short. I think I did a good job. My athleticism definitely kicked in, especially in those times. So yeah.
What about when you were in track when you first were starting out? Did he ever cause any pile-ups or any bloopers?
So for me, for track, I was actually more on the field side. So I did javelin and long jump. So and my coach tried to get me to run the 400, but I had bad knees from cheerleading, so that was not happening at all. And so I mean, I did eat sand a lot from long jump because you're jumping into a sand pit, and a
That
couple of
sounds
times
delicious.
there were a couple of times where I would like get up and there's like sand all over, like in your face, and you're like trying to wipe your face, there's sand everywhere. And same thing with javelin. Like a couple of times, I definitely slipped because with javelin you're on grass or sometimes on a very hard I guess field. So if it rains and it's a little muddy and your grips are not working that day, you're slipping for sure, and it's bad. So I guess you could say I've had my fair shares of tumbles because I am a little clumsy. So
Hey, no one's perfect.
exactly.
Now, you're talking about the long jump where you have the pole and you jump over and you land in that thing of water, right?
So that's pole vault, and long jump is when it looks like people are just running fast, like full speed into sand.
Ah,
That's what that is. Yeah. So I did that. I tried to do the pole vault where they go over and sometimes they like. I don't know, like that pole where you're actually running. There's a lot of weight to that. Like, and I don't know. A couple of girls who were they had a couple of people in my high. 'Cause I went to 2 high schools, but the first high school I went to, there were a couple of girls who were my height, and they used to just fly. And for me, it was just like I'll get there just shaking, like I can't do this. Like I'm so scared. I'm so scared. I'm so scared. So I never tried that, but I did everything where it was just me. I didn't need anything else but me. So that's where I basically based it. So yeah,
and my last question is, did he ever get the chance to do one of those human pyramids or not into that whole thing?
I did. I fell. There were a couple of times I was on the bottom. A couple of times I was on the top. And each time, one way or another, someone either fell on me or I fell on them. So it always happened. Definitely. Cheerleading is one of those sports where it's like, you don't know what's going to happen that day. You know, like anything could just a slight little tweak of something, just, it can throw a whole stun off with just anything. So yeah.
That's true. Now, do you mean like the normal pyramid where it's like the stack, or is it one of those standing ones?
So one of those standing ones. So where you'll have like someone here and then someone on top and then someone on top again, and it's just like 6 people in the air just holding one person up. Yeah, so it was one of those. So couple of those actually. Yeah.
I'm more a fan of the normal ones.
Oh yeah. We tried those a couple of times, but for some reason, I guess someone's knee in your back doesn't feel so comfortable after some time.
I love that stuff. I'm a loser.
Yeah. Hey, listen, everyone. I mean, I used to do it for flag football. Like the winning team, when we would win, that's how we would take our pictures. So it was always pretty cool. Yeah.
Well, would he
Be
ever
active.
would he ever be interested in doing that stuff, or is that past tense?
It's so funny now because even my friends still ask me like, "Would you ever go back?" And I'm like, I don't think my body can, but I want to. But I don't. It gets to that point where your body's like worn out from certain things, and that's another reason why I still try to incorporate, staying active and doing yoga and things like that. But if I had the chance, yeah, I would probably still do it.
Hey,
Just to fall.
Hey, if you ever want to hook me up, let me know.
Yeah, I actually know a couple of gyms in your area, so it's pretty nice. They have some really good coaches and things out there.
Well, I do have a couple questions for you off the air, and you did mention you're from Jersey, and this is a 2-part question. The first part is, who influenced you to become an actress, and have you ever thought about going to New Jersey Comic-Con and getting yourself out there?
So, I think who actually influenced me to, let me see how I can phrase this. So, growing up in Ghana when I was born there, and one of my aunts, she's actually a producer for one of the biggest broadcast stations out there. So, when I was young, maybe I want to say 5, either 5 or 6, I did a couple of commercials and that were released in Ghana. So, but then once I came to this country, I think I only got to see one of the commercials that were released. So that's where the actual bug came from, to want to be on the screen or something, or, like want to be out there. And when I came here, my parents were like, you gotta be a little bit more realistic. That's not really a good job or, good paying job. And I'm like, are you crazy? These celebrities are out here making tons of money. And so, I actually went to school and got a degree in psychology. So I think I went left. And now that I graduated, I have a degree. I'm like, let me get back into pursuing what I really wanted to do. I got the degree from my parents. Now it's time to do it for me. So I think that's why. But honestly, if I want to say anybody who I do admire as an actress from Jersey, I would probably say Queen Latifah is always somebody I look up to because I just love her, like, her all over spunk and just like, very funny person, and it's great. I can't even think of someone else right now.
Kevin Smith?
Yes, he's another one. I forgot he was from New Jersey. Oh, there are so many Jersey people that I was just having this conversation at work and people were just listening, and I was just like, I didn't know so many, good actors and actresses came from New Jersey. So it's kind of crazy. Wow, I forgot about Kevin. I'm gonna have to remember that.
And don't forget the whole cast from Clerks, too.
Really?
I think Clerks was based in Jersey.
Yeah, I do. And that's the other thing, too. So I kind of came to this country in '01. So some of the shows prior to that were during that time. And, I was still on the cartoon. So it's like, unless I caught it and didn't catch it, it was just like went over kind of thing. Yeah, but that's really where, I think I got inspired from and everything, so.
And he did mention oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
And you mentioned the acting bug for people out there. It's not a real bug that you go catch. It's more like a metaphor thing.
It's not a real, no. So it's so funny because you mentioned Comic-Con. My cousin goes to Comic-Con all the time. He looks like he has a blast. And I'm like, dude, my schedule never works for me to go. But I'm trying to work, 2018 is definitely the year I'm trying to get more out there, and network more at different things and just not, stay stagnant in one place or whatever the case is. So that's why I've definitely been branching out. So what I guess I'm saying the acting bug, it's been recently I've been doing a lot of skits. And so those are funny, and it's like I guess I'm finding that I have a little comedic side, so it's pretty good. So that's where for me I'm saying the bug is coming from, because it's like I caught something and I just want to keep going. Like, I don't know.
Well, I always wanted to go to New Jersey Comic Con. Maybe we can go to one if you're interested.
Yes, because I need to branch out anyway, see what's that. My cousin always go, and he's from Philly. And he's always, he either goes to the New York or then I'm like, dude, you're always like every single, he never misses one ever a day in his life. So we definitely need to do that, link up and definitely tag along.
I think there's actually one in Comic-Con to Comic-Con. I think there's a Comic-Con in Philly, actually.
Oh, yeah?
I think
yes, there is, yes.
Every major city has their own. It's really cool.
Yeah. So he's always out there. So it's so cool because you see all these different, characters and things like that, and it's pretty cool.
Well,
out there.
That's all right. I know. I don't mean to interrupt, but force a habit.
No, it's okay. You're fine.
I was going to say, if you're interested, this April, I think the 21st or 22nd in Poughkeepsie, New York, there's actually going to be a Hudson Valley Comic Con if you're interested.
Oh, yes. Okay, well, my April's already pretty cleared at this moment, so I think I can start looking it up for sure.
Right now.
You have to send me the info for that so I can check it out.
Oh, definitely. It's funny, I asked to do a Q&A, and I know I'm just starting out, but that was a year ago. I still do want to do a Q&A. And
yeah.
we, making a list. If we have time, you can do it. But how would you like a table? Okay. Thank you for the free table, but I don't have anything to give to people. I said, okay, give them, I have some examples right here. I have, little postcard things, and, I use them for the holidays, happy holidays. Or
That's
I
nice.
have, little business cards, and I'm like, I don't know, it's kind of cheap that's doing that. Then I thought about doing a book, but I'm not at that point yet. And I was about doing autographs, but you're an upcoming actress, and you're beautiful. And you're
Thank you.
And you're a perfect example for that. For me, it's like, oh, what do? I'm a YouTube star. Big whoop. But for you...
But that's so accomplished, man. I wish I was up there.
I would say to myself, I'm more of a C-lister. I'm not an A-lister because you have people hounding you.
You're on the list.
On the A-list. The B-list, the same exact thing, people hounding you. I'm more like on the C list. Some people would say the D list, but I would like to say I'm in the middle. So I'm pat myself on the back. I'm doing something right?
I mean, you're on the list. I'm nowhere even near the D nor C list, so kudos to you for that. That's a great accomplishment, honestly.
Now, the next question I was going to ask you was, what were some of your favorite films that you act in, and do you have any new projects coming up?
So I haven't really branched out into film. I've just been focused more on just my modeling, and it's like the acting and everything else is actually falling into place slowly. So modeling wise, I've done a lot of music videos with a lot of people who are, I don't know if you've heard of Fatboy SSE. He's like hilarious. I think he's been around for maybe, I can't remember how long, but I've been in one of his videos, a couple of other people, Chad B. These are all, some of them are like New Jersey based. So that's been good. And a couple of the skits I've done are this one guy who's actually, he's half and half. He's from New York, but lives in Jersey. I don't know how he does it, but his name is HTR Mike on Instagram and Twitter, I think. Yeah, so I've mainly done skits with him, so I'm trying to really branch out and do more. I cannot wait to get my first big movie or film role, and that's good. Like, even as an extra, I'm just looking forward to it because it's just, it's always good. Any work is good work. So.
Well, actually, I do a lot of fan-made parodies for fun, if you're interested. Have you ever thought about doing voiceovers?
Yes, I actually have.
Well, we can always talk about it.
Yeah, because I always wondered how those went with voiceover because, well, when I'm doing the skits, sometimes when the guy has to edit, I'm just there for the scene and we're shooting and whatever. And when he actually edits towards the end, it's just like, oh my God, you did all of that? Like, when did you add the voice? When did you do this? And it's just like, oh my God. So, like, sometimes he'll tell me, like, yeah, I just, like, re-recorded, put it over, and then that's it. I'm like, it's pretty dope. So, I always thought about that because of, like, cartoons.
Oh, it's
And,
always
things like,
easy. If you want, I can tease you. But pretty much you
yeah.
just record yourself, and then you do the editing. You can make your voice higher, you can make it lower, and doing short skits is pretty simple in this day and age. Everyone, even a 5-year-old, has a camera. So,
Yeah.
for an example, for what I'm doing now, say about 10 years ago, if I wanted to do this, or see that's 2006, or you went back 20 years, that'd be 96. It would 96. Forget it. I wanted to. There was
Yeah.
no Skype. There's no video. Nothing. So if I was born in 96. Actually, 88. But I was growing up in 96. So if I was switched places, now I'm doing what I'm doing now. The only thing you would honestly be doing is radio. But that's it. You had nothing else. 2006, either Skype. I recently found out Skype was created in 2003. But, yeah, I was surprised at that, too.
Yeah. I was like, wait, I didn't get on Skype till I was still on AIM in 2003.
Actually, I hope they bring AIM back. I do miss that.
Yeah, instant messages are the best.
And, did you ever think, I was going to say, it was the cameras, they didn't have the add-ons to it. Like, I started my talk show like this. How you see the reflection on the screen, it's pretty much what the camera saw. So if you look back at my early work, season 1 and 2, it looks crappy because you saw what the camera saw. Then my brother told me about Skype recorder, and I found that. Then I found Zoom. I didn't really care for Zoom. It looks cool.
Yeah.
Like how you talk, it goes to you, and I speak, it shows me, but it has everything open behind me. Now I can edit it, cut it in the middle, so it looks professional. Zoom is like the great beyonder, so I don't have a set. So, hey.
Right.
Plus, you have to pay for it.
Oh, that sucks.
But I'm saying, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was saying, sometimes you still have to pay for things.
No, I'm saying 96, this wouldn't be happening. It's either radio or nothing. 06 would be a possibility, but it would be harder because you don't have Skype recorder. But I guess things happen for a reason if you want to look at that logic.
Mm-hmm.
But I was going to ask you, my last two questions, then I'll pass the show over to you once we take the break, is one, where do you stand? Actually, I always talk about social media, so let's actually do another question. And if this sounds like an asshole question, I do apologize. But
No, it's okay.
I want your honest opinion. And I'm a perfect example of this. Because, for people with disabilities, actually, let me just 3 questions. Just throw one in there, because I actually answered my own question. One, have you ever worked with people with disabilities? And have you ever been stereotyped for a certain role? And before you answer, I know for me, because I'm handicapped, I'm retarded, I read and learn at the 5th grade level. So people will automatically assume that because I have a disability, I fall under this wink, stereotype.
Right.
Now for you, the first question is, have you ever worked with anyone with a disability besides me? And have you ever been stereotyped?
So I have. So like I said, I went to school and got a degree in psychology. So what I wanted to do with that was actually become a life, marriage, family therapist. Such a mouthful to say. So in the process of doing that, I also wanted to work with people who also have developmental disabilities. So I actually got a job for a whole entire year working in that field. And I honestly loved it. And I'm going to be honest. So I loved it and everything, and it was like one of the best things because some of the people and my members in which I worked with and everything, they're my age, just they had whatever, if they had a learning disability or a developmental disability, whatever the case is. And I remember one of my members, I might get choked up and cry, but don't mind me. Uh, One of my members, she was actually my exact age. Her birthday was, I think, is 2 days. I mean, 2 days is 2 weeks before mine. But when you saw her, she has I think she had psychosis or something. So I'm not even gonna get into that. But her mindset was that of I think they said from a 6 to a 1 year old. So certain things that she would do, you can tell like not a lot of people knew how to approach the situation or
Right.
try to help. And for me, for some reason, it's like I guess that this is where my grandparents or like my family members and everyone always say, you always want to help, you never say no, like and I'm like, I don't know, that's just me. So I noticed that one of the things she struggled with was using the bathroom, but she would show signs that she wanted to, like like even though she wore a diaper, you could tell she was showing signs of like wanted to go. Like sometimes she'll stay near the bathroom. So it's like things like that for me. I used to always try my hardest to like pay attention and like just pick up little things because at the end of the day, even though, you know, not saying you're different because I don't even, and that's the thing for me, I don't even consider people who have disabilities or anything like that different. I feel like you're just like me. You just have something else that is more challenging for you in the day. And
Right.
that's it. So just like how everybody struggles to wake up in the morning, everybody struggles. Like no one wants to get out of bed in the morning. So it's like, so for me, it's in that sense. So whenever I worked when I was working in that setting, I never once like saw it as, no one has this. I never saw. I just saw it as you have a problem today. We're gonna solve it. That's it. So when it came to that for me, like I loved it, but I think after a while, realizing that I probably jumped into that field too quickly after graduating from college, and it was a lot because like especially when they're literally your same age, it's so much to take because it's like, oh my god, like I want to like help you in so much, and it's like I feel like whatever I was given wasn't good enough. So I kind of just stepped back a little bit. But sometimes I still like to volunteer and like, go out and do things like host events and things like that. And even if I get the chance, like I'm always like, I'll even still go to like the community functions when they have them and things like that and just like hang out. I don't know. That's just me. I'm weird. And
Hey, I like human
stereotype.
pyramids. I'm a loser.
Stop. I had a friend. You know what's funny? I actually picked up in high school how to speak sign language, but I'm a little rusty now. But because I had a deaf friend, so I had to literally learn. So and that's just me. Like I guess that's just like I don't want to say my way of making because at the end of the day you have to normalize.
Yeah.
So that was always me. Like, okay, well, what can I do to like talk to you? Like, I'm not gonna keep sitting here. Like, I'm gonna try and speak your language. Like, or like, because at the end of the day, I'm always about making the person feel comfortable and not to make them feel like, like in the back of their head, constantly thinking, yes, I have a disability. Yes, no, never been like that. So I loved it. I said if I had the chance, I would still go back. But I feel like now my mom has to get over it. I'm just like But yeah, stereotype. Not with that question is a little hard because it's like I would only get stereotyped in the sense where when I first came to this country, people made a lie. I got bullied a lot. I think I got bullied up until maybe high school. It was bad, but got bullied up until high school because I was from Africa. I had an accent. Some people still joke like, "Why are you so light?" I thought all Africans were charcoal black, and I was just like, "The hell?" Like, like no. And for me, and then when people find out that like even though I was born in Africa, my actual family and ethnic background, like I'm actually part Lebanese and German, so it's like I have a mix in me. So for me, whenever I felt like people were going to stereotype me or in any form or shape, I just found a way to just like make them feel it, and like like it's almost like trying to think of of a really great example, and I feel like I have one. And it's gonna slip my mind, and I hope it doesn't. But that's the only thing maybe I can think of was when I like really when people find out that sometimes I'm African, it's like I automatically see them like starting to try and like tweak certain things, and it's like, listen, I live in this country just like you live in this country. That's it. Like, so whatever else you have to bring or say, it's not really gonna work. So yeah.
I remember, and then we're gonna take a commercial break. There's a wrestler, Kobe Kingston. Yeah, from his character, he came from South Africa. And there's a part where there's a brawl in the ring, and he stops, and he turns to the other guy and says, "Knock it off, calm down." And Triple H turns to him and says, "Aren't you supposed to be African? What happened to your accent?" And then since then, it's like, well, just forget the accent now, because people know it's an act.
Exactly, but yeah, so it's really sometimes it's like that. Like even now to this day, when people hear me, they're like, "But your English is so well." I'm like, well, growing up in Ghana, my family, that's the first thing you learn is English before you learn the dialect. They don't. That's just how my family is. You're always gonna learn English first, and then everything else. Because at the end of the day, you have to be able to communicate, and then whatever else is taught in school. That's besides the point. But yeah. So I feel like sometimes people just don't know better and are not educated. So I always tell people I don't like to call people ignorant. I just like to say you're not educated on that topic, or you don't specifically know what you're talking about. Because I'm like that too. Sometimes there are things that I feel like I'm just talking out my ass and I have no clue what I'm talking about.
I do that every day.
Yeah, so it's like you just have to pick. You have to learn how to really pick and choose your battles when it comes to people that you're approaching and which the manner of what you're speaking in. So yeah.
No, absolutely. We're gonna take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, I'm gonna pass the show over to you.
Awesome. See you guys soon.
Russo.
Me, Mark Medley.
Hi everybody, this is Mark Neely.
Barry Papick.
This is Peter Bruno.
My name is Kyle Collier.
This is Julio Santiago, better known as Dynamite.
I'm Richard Epcar.
Orange Chow.
This is Kerrigan Mahan.
This is Goldar.
And we both support Keith Andrew.
And my name is Ron Wasserman, and I am supporting Keith Andrew on what he is doing, and you better do the same, or I'm gonna come kick your ass.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Keith Andrew Network. I'm here with the beautiful and talented Maya. That lists the last 6 minutes left of the show. I'm going to pass it over to you. But there is one question I do want to ask you. Finishing up our last subject where we're talking about before the break. Is, people are giving you a hard time when you're not knowing the language. And recently there was this thing on Facebook where it says, should English be an official language? And I do agree with that, yes. But it's kind of look at it like this. When you're visiting someone's country, or living in someone's country, I'll give you an example. For an example, you came to America. You should speak English. If I went to Africa, I would have to learn your language because you're respecting the culture, and that's what everyone does. Everyone in the whole world isn't going to speak English, but at the same time, you have to be open-minded, and what's wrong with trying new things? If that makes any sense.
I always say that. No, I definitely always say that. My friends are always telling me I'm the adventurous and spontaneous one. I always want to go and try new things. I always want to do, I'm just one of those people. So for me, growing up in Ghana with that English wasn't really a barrier for me because I spoke English in school. So that's what it is. In the school systems in Ghana, you are only allowed to speak English. I don't know about now, but back then when I was there, you're only allowed to speak English and French. And French was like how Spanish is taught here in school. Yeah. French is taught there because you have a lot of French-speaking countries that are in Africa. So French is like the second language, so I had to learn French. But then when I came here, even though I already had my dialects and, traditional languages that I spoke, once I came here, not having anyone, because my mom is actually Liberian, so she's from another country in Africa. So it's like two different things. So She speaks other languages, and my father and I speak other languages as well. So coming here, I guess that's another reason why my accent was all over the place because I was already used to speaking more than two languages. And then adjusting to that and then coming to this country, you realize this country is very diverse.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of people from different places who speak different things. But then one thing that I did notice in that sense, like I was saying, where I feel like some people are not educated and don't care enough to try culture or, be culturally exposed. You can always tell people will always say, why don't you just speak English? And it's like, well, English is not the first, well, I don't know if it is now, but I know at that time, English wasn't like the number one language that was spoken. I think it was like French or something else. I don't even remember. But in that sense, like sometimes you do have to adapt or, at least try it. So what I try to do is now when I'm going somewhere new or to a foreign country or I'm going somewhere where I know they speak other languages, I at least try to get the top 3. Where's the bathroom? I'm hungry. And just to say my name. That is it. I will always make sure I get those 3 down because it's like, like sometimes that's an easy way too, or or even to ask, or in their language, do you speak English without coming out to say, I only speak English. Like people always do that. It's like,
I forgot how many times I helped a customer in Woodbury Commons, and it's like, how's it going today? Do you need any help? It's like, I don't speak in English, and I'm like, he does said in perfect English. I don't speak in English. It's kind of it sounds like an oxymoron. It's like, all right, for me, I feel comfortable speaking one language. I try, I pick up little things like in French and Spanish, a little Japanese, but I know because I have a disability. I'm not making any excuses, but because I have a disability, it's not gonna sink in at this point. So it's kind of like I'd be walking around with a little translator thing. But I'm not saying, if you move to a certain country, if you move to China, you should just learn Chinese. If you learn, you said it's based on that thing. Not there's one store in the Commons actually that says if you speak Mandarin, that's a plus. And I'm like, so if I don't speak Mandarin, you're not going to hire me, huh? So at the same time, it's like those little things where it kind of, doesn't make any sense.
It's good to hear. Okay, so I wanted to ask you, how long does it generally take to edit everything and post it, like, when you do your interview?
Well, it's trying to find the words for it. At least in a way to make a long story short, I was supposed to work with a studio, and the guy's like, it takes me 5 days. It's like, 5 days to do the editing? It's like, Jesus Christ, it takes me a half hour at least, and then you have to wait till it uploads on YouTube, and I'm very passionate about it. So first I do the video, then I would find your information on Skype and Twitter, and then I will put it in the video. And at the first half would be just like the introduction and sponsors so people know about you. Second half, I call it. Don't ask me why, but I call it something funny. I call it Twitter time. So it would flash on the screen Twitter time, and
That's so cool.
And Instagram, I'm still working on it. But for Twitter time, people will know. Okay, on the bottom of the screen, he's going to have the hashtags for Twitter. Because right now I have the camera flipped. You're on the right, I'm on the left. When we do the editing, I'm going to be on the right, you're on the left, and under my picture we'll have my hashtag. Well, not hashtag like an at. It says at KeithAndrewNetWork, and it has yours. But overall, I would say, it takes, uploads about 15-20 minutes. For I use iMovie. Then it takes another 15-20 minutes to go to YouTube, and then you have to upload it and edit it and everything. Then you share it. So half hour. I would say half hour, maybe an hour. But like 5 days. It's like you're not digging for gold or anything. It's like, I don't know.
Digging for gold, yeah. For sure. I know some people who do take a while to edit and like post things. That's why I always ask because there have been time like even to this day speaking, there have been videos that I've shot since 2016 that have not even been released. And it's just like.
But wrapping up her segment, the first question, actually you did answer the first question about social media and how people can follow you. But are you also on Facebook and LinkedIn, or you don't use those?
So I don't use LinkedIn. I'm still on Facebook as I use Facebook as generally my family based and if few networking things. So on Facebook, you can follow me at my real name, which is Maya Hama. So that's Hamah. You can spell it backwards. It's still the same. My last name's a palindrome, so it's kind of pretty funny. Yeah, so that's where you can find me on Facebook. I'm always up there. I like to post a lot of cool things, and also on my Instagram, I'm always doing I'm doing a giveaway right now. So it's like madness sometimes. So I have to always try and rein it back. But you guys can definitely check me out on that. Yeah.
Now my last question for you, wrapping up our interview segment, is when I first approached you to be a guest on my talk show, what was your first reaction? And after doing the interview, how do you feel now? And what made you say yes?
Okay, so the page in which you posted on, I forgot what it's called, the New York Casting or whatever page. So I'm also out. I'm so sorry, I forgot to plug this in. How could I forget that? I'm also part of a model management team called We Are Jersey Diamonds. So if you want to book me or anything like that, you can go through that. And my manager actually, told me about the casting page on Facebook, and she's like, "Hey, check it out. They're always posting stuff there. Just put on the notification whenever you see something that you're interested in. Check it out." So I was like, "Yeah." So I saw your post, and I was like, "I have to do this immediately because it seems like it's the best." And this, So I went, I actually checked your YouTube and everything, after subscribing and all of that. And I was like, I actually like this, and I'm actually looking forward to because I wanted to see your whole entire dynamic and everything, And not even when then I read that you had a disability, I'm like, okay, I would have never known that. That's something that I would have never known had you not said it. So, and even now being on screen, until you said it, I still wouldn't have known because it's so you're honestly, your flow is good. You look comfortable. Everything's fine. You're doing a great job. So I actually love being here, and I wouldn't mind coming back again, and we could get a little bit more intense with the questions. I don't know. So
yeah, I would love that.
Yeah, more people need to come on your show, man. The Keith Andrew show is popping.
I do have a couple questions for you off the air. Wrapping up our interview segment, it was a real honor and privilege to have you as a guest, and I'm looking forward to part 2 down the road.
Yay! It was good having me. Yay!